way.
Well, let's talk about the New England Patriots football team. And they are, I wrote in my column on Sunday, well, in Monday's paper, that they finally seem like they've stepped up and found an identity. Yeah. And that's something that even Tom Brady was saying earlier in the season, that the team really hadn't created an identity for themselves. They have now. Now the question is that identity good enough going forward?
Well, I think it is. When you look at what Indianapolis is doing right now, and that's, of course, who they're playing this week, it's really the season can kind of turn on this, because if New England can beat the Colts, they have a very good chance of getting home field advantage, and that means a lot in the playoffs, even though they're capable of winning on the road.
Now, when you say home field, are you talking the number 3 seed? Or
I'm talking about the number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed, okay.
Because the AFC, you're looking at Pittsburgh, you're looking at Indianapolis, you're looking at New England. Denver, I don't want to write them off yet, but they're a team
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati and Denver are basically the same team. Tough, Cincinnati might be a little bit better than Denver at this point, because Palmer is more of a leader than Orton is, and their running game has been a little bit better. They have a better offense than Denver. Denver's defense is still real good. Cincinnati's defense is real good. But you're looking at, like you have for much of the last, how many times over the last 10 years have we've been saying New England, Denver, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis? That's just how it's been. Indianapolis is 8-0. I honestly think that if you put, say, just an average quarterback on that team, not even a bad quarterback, but say Jay Cutler or Matt Schaub or one of these guys, good quarterbacks but not great quarterbacks, I don't think the Colts would have won 3 games. Well, they just don't. They don't. Peyton Manning, he is that good. I think that Peyton Manning, and as much as I love Brady, and I think that Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and when you take the postseason out of it for a little bit, but Peyton Manning, what he does every year, really, there's no reference for it in the NFL, because he not only does he impact the offense, but he impacts the defense, because they have so much faith in what he can do that they get away with these very average defenses with very average running games, usually with lines that they kind of get, whatever line they get together, he makes work. I almost don't think there's any question that he's a better quarterback than Tom Brady is. That if you put Tom Brady on the Colts, they would not be as good. And if you took Peyton Manning on the Patriots, I think that they would have won those 3 titles with Manning. That's how I look at it, and I know that
it's a hard argument to make, though, because both teams are kind of tailored around that talent.
I don't think that the Patriots are.
You don't think so?
Not really. I think that that sounds dumb.
You don't think like they can get away with having running backs who aren't that good because they know they have Brady?
Look what they did with Castle this last year. They were still an effective offense. They won 11 games with Matt Castle, and that doesn't mean that Tom Brady's not better, because he clearly is. Much better than Matt Castle, but that was a team that could still win without it. You take Peyton Manning off the Colts and replace him with Jim Sorgi, you are not going to win. You're not going to win games. They're completely built around Manning. So in the playoffs, it doesn't always work out for him, which is really the only knock. If he had the 3 rings, you couldn't make an argument for anybody else as the greatest quarterback of all time, because regular season, he's hands down the greatest.
Sports at s-t.com. If you'd like to argue that point with Jonathan Comey.
Well, look, I at this point, if Patriots fans can't accept the fact that Peyton Manning is a great quarterback and at least call them equals, I would be happy enough to say, well, they're both great. It's increments of great.
It's kind of like a 1A type of thing.
Yeah, but I think Brady is the A.